Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Coming at you with another lesson. This is your brother Nawak. I want to entitle this lesson, The Iuic is now saying the Motb is the digital ID. So, yep, the Iuic, which is Israel United in Christ, the group, or at least one person out of their group. I'm gonna show you on the screen here. Let me pull it up. As you can see here, the deacon Malachi, he mentioned in this video, which I'm about to play, fair use, just a small clip of what he said about the Motb. He talked about how it's the digital ID, in which the digital ID, they do have that, and they do want to make that all over the place, but that's not the Motb, which is the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is the RFID CHIP, but it's much different than what they started out saying. They were once teaching that the Motb was an embargo. See? And then the Bishop Nate, he started saying that it's sin. He started teaching that it's sin. As a matter of fact, in this video clip here, this guy on the screen right here, he said it's also sin again. He said it was sin before he said what he's about to say now, which, when you listen to what he said, the Motb is in terms of sin, and then soon after that, he says it's the digital ID. That right there is confusion within itself. See, with these guys, it's all about confusion. And with the Motb, you're going to have to be clear in terms of what it is. See, 1 minute they're teaching as an embargo. Then they're teaching that it's sin. It's political sin. It's sin in all forms. And now, the guy, like I said, the guy on the screen, the deacon Malachi, he's teaching, or he mentioned that the Motb is a digital ID, which is closer to what it actually is, but that's not it. See, the Motb, the mark of the beast, is the RFID CHIP. It's a device, okay? It's digital. This is the digital device that they want to put inside you. See, they want to put it in your hand, or they want to put it in your head. And you know about the Neuralink and Elon Musk. See, they already got the technology. The technology is here. The apostles and the elders of Great Millstone have been teaching it for years, constantly. They have not changed. And the affiliates, we continue to teach exactly what the Motb is, which is the RFID micro CHIP. And that hasn't changed. See? This is like I said, the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone have been teaching what the Motb is, and they've been consistent with it, and all the affiliates and like-minded brothers. We're going to continue to teach you exactly what it is. We're not going to keep changing the doctrines like the Iuic have done over the years. They've continuously changed exactly what the Motb is. And now, with this latest, this is something totally different. It was an embargo. It was sin. Now it's the guy, like I said, he just said it's the digital ID. And so, I want to go ahead and get started and play this video clip, and you can hear exactly what he said. And we're going to get into this thing.
And make sure all your citizens have a digital ID, and all their information is on that digital ID. Their bank account and all of these things. You all understand? That's the level it's going to come to. It ain't there fully as yet, but that's the level it's going to come to. The mark of the beast.
See that? Let me rewind that back. Once again, teaching something different. Let's play it again.
New solution. And guess what? Let all nations know, listen, this is the new form of trading worldwide. And make sure all your citizens have a digital ID, and all their information is on that digital ID.
Now, like I said, from the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone on down with the affiliates and other like-minded men, we've been teaching you exactly what the Motb is. It's a RFID C-hip. It's a device, an implantable device that they want to put in your hand or in your forehead or in your head, in your brain. This technology lines up with that digital system that they already have put out in place, but it hasn't become implemented yet. But that digital system is already in place, and you already know they've been purchasing a lot of Bitcoin, which is digital. It's all digital. And that digital system that they've been setting up is going to link right into what the Motb really is. That's the RFID C-hip. See, that's what it is. So slowly but surely, our apostles and the elders have said that they were going to start changing, and Apostle Ramla specifically, how they're going to start changing and weaving in what it really is to show that they were right all they might have been, or they say might say they're going to be right all the time. See, but we know that this is what they do. They continuously change the doctrine over and over and over. And that's what you have. That's where you bring confusion to this thing. And you cannot have any confusion when it comes to the Motb. This is a major, major prophecy. And if you're confused, like I say, if you're confused when the Motb comes out, you're probably going to take it. See, this is the kind of thing you need to be 100% sure on. You need to be sure on what it is, and you need to be sure on your stance. And we've been teaching, do not take it. Do not take it. If you take that thing, the Lord is going to destroy you himself. See? That means that you down with this system, you down with this devil, and you know Yahweh Shai is coming back to destroy this place. You're going to be destroyed right along with it. That's just the bottom line. And that's why we take this prophecy so serious, and that's why we're always teaching about it, so that there will be no doubt. There'll be no doubt. You'll be crystal clear on what the Motb is and no confusion. Now, I'm going to play this one more time, and then I want to get into some scriptures. Rewind it back one more time. About right there.
Now, if they get rid of the US debt, guess what's going to happen to the US dollar? It's going to tank. The US dollar going to tank. And guess what? America going to do what America do. America is the oppressor. They going to do what they going to do. The whole economy collapse, then they come up with a new solution. And guess what? Let all nations know, listen, this is the new form of trading worldwide. And make sure all your citizens have a digital ID, and all their information is on that digital ID, their bank account and all of these things. Y'all understand? That's the level it's going to come to. It ain't there fully as yet, but that's the level it's going to come to. The mark of the beast. Okay?
You see that? So that's confusion. That's total confusion. See, if you run into this type of confusion, you're going to be confused. And it's all set up to deceive people. See? As the scriptures say, the deceived and the deceiver are his. So, like I said, they started out talking about it's an embargo, which it is not. See, if you was, let's say, you was believing what they were teaching about it being an embargo, right? And the Motb actually comes out. So if you believe these guys and that it's the embargo, then you probably gonna take it because this not the it's not the Motb. The Motb is an embargo. That's what they're teaching. So I might as well take the C-hip. I might as well take the RFID C-hip. That's what people are going to be thinking by them teaching these lies, by them teaching these false doctrines. And then the Bishop Nate himself, Bishop Nathaniel, teaching that it's sin. So if it's sin, and we know everybody has sinned. Everybody has sinned. So if it's sin, when that RFID C-hip come out, when the real true Motb comes out, they're going to be thinking, well, I guess it's okay to take it because it's sin. And everything that these guys is teaching is not the truth. Even with what he just taught about that it's the digital ID. They do have a digital ID. That is gradualism. They're doing that to get one step closer and closer to what it really is. See, they started out with the credit cards where you can swipe and then you can tap to pay. And now, hey, they got it in your phones. You can tap the phones. This is all getting people conditioned on to take that thing, to take the MOTB. That's ultimately what they want. And that's ultimately where it's going. So when you got guys like this teaching different doctrines, teaching things that are not the truth with the MOTB, it could cost you your life. See, this thing is deadly serious. See, you take that thing, the Lord is going to destroy you himself. So these guys, like I say, they slowly weaving in what it truly is. They're trying to get down to the truth of what it is. But hey, all of this is just confusion. This confusion. As the scriptures say, matter of fact, let me get that. This is just more confusion. Let me get this in 1 Corinthians. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, and verse 33. 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, and verse 33. It says, the Most High, Yahweh, is not the author of confusion. See? The Lord is not about confusion. The scriptures is plain. You're supposed to be teaching the truth, exactly what it is. You're not supposed to be keep teaching it and changing the doctrine every year, every 2 years. It's a different thing. You need to know what the truth is, point blank. You don't need to be hearing all of these false doctrines, because you know that the Most High is not dealing with them, because hey, this is just confusion. And as the scripture says, he is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints. So, hey, you wanna steer clear of all this confusion. You need to know exactly what it is, and I want to get into that, Lord willing. You need to know exactly what it is so that you will not be confused when it actually comes out. See? Let's get this now in Titus. Another thing I want to mention is the names. See? They're not pushing the true names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They're teaching you Christ and Christ blessed, which is totally wrong. You're gonna need to call on the true names of the Lord in the times that we're coming in. And if you're not sure on what the names are, you're gonna be through out here. That's another thing that they're doing. They're not pushing Yahweh why Yahweh Shai. They're pushing Christ. And that's not his name. See, you need to know the truth. The truth is what's going to be needed out here in these last days. All the ones of our people who done fell for these lies and these false doctrines, they're going to be through. This is the book of Titus, chapter 1, and verse 9. It says, holding fast the faith. It says, holding fast the faithful word as it has been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. So you need sound doctrine in this thing. You need sound doctrine. You don't need all of these different things that other groups are teaching. It's sleeping with white women. It's an embargo. It's sin. It's a picture of Caesar Borgia. All of these are different doctrines that's going to lead you to destruction, because it's not the truth. It's false doctrine. Point blank. It says, verse 10, there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, meaning our own people. Our own people out here, they got fancy words, they got fancy garments, they speak real well and elegant. See, they're able to basically deceive people by how they look and how they speak. And that's gonna get a lot of people destroyed too. because people are looking on the outward appearance instead of who's pushing the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, who has a true spirit of prophecy, which is Yahweh Shai has a spirit of prophecy. See, and they're not pushing Yahweh Shai, so how can they have the spirit of prophecy? See, you must have the spirit of prophecy, which is Yahweh Shai. Verse 11, it says, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. Hey, the apostle and the elders been saying they might have took the bag. A lot of groups out here might have took the bag. See, we can't say 100%, but hey, that's how it looks, especially when you know the truth and you're teaching false doctrines. See, you teaching false doctrines. Our people need to know the truth. And these things, hey, the Lord is going to get all the ones pushing these false doctrines. See, the blood is going to be on their hands. See? But, hey, we want to continue to teach the truth. Let me get this word subvert real quick. It says, let me clear this. It says subvert. It says to subvert something means to destroy its power and influence. It says overturn, destroy, undermine, upset. And that's what's happening. Anytime you're teaching these false doctrines, that's what you're doing. You're confusing the people. You ultimately is going to lead to their destruction. There's no way around it. You must have the truth, the 100% truth. You got these false doctrines rolling around in your head, you're going to go for it. You're going Motb comes out. Once it rolls out, you're going to take that thing because you don't know no better. As a matter of fact, even if you doubting, even if you're not sure if you should take it or not, you probably still going to take it because you're confused. This is the one thing, like I said, you don't want to be confused on. And if you're of the elect, you're not going to be confused. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 24. St. Matthew, chapter 24 and 24. It says, there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets. There's always been false prophets and teachers out here. See? And the Lord has set them up. Like I said, the deceived and the deceiver are his. They're set up to get all the ones that the Lord is not going to save. Is not of the elect, who weren't chosen before the foundation of the world. They're going to get deceived by these false prophets. It says, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, that it says they shall deceive the very elect. But it's not possible. That's the thing. It's not possible. If you're the elect, and you hear these false doctrines, it's just not going to click. You're going to know it. No, that's not right. That's not right. Because the Lord has set it up where his elect are going to be sealed. And it's nothing, nobody going to be able to stop it. And that includes false doctrines. So only ones are going to go for these false doctrines and all of these gimmicks and all of these changes and be confused. Ultimately, it's just confusion. They're going to end up taking that thing. But the elect, it's not possible for the elect to be deceived. It says, verse 25, it says, behold, I have told you before. So yeah, this is the time now we're living in where you got false prophets with false doctrines teaching people. And it's a lot of people following Iuic. But we always say, if there's any elect amongst them, they're going to get out of that. See, they're going to come out of that because the elect were called before the foundation of the world. See, were chosen before the foundation of the world to receive salvation. And it's nothing nobody is going to be able to do to change that. Not false doctrines, not false teachers and leaders. None of these things are going to deceive the elect. Now let's get this let's get this in Hebrews, because this word is powerful, man. You say, well, he did say it's the digital ID, but that's not it though. See, it's closer. It's a form of control, but it's not it. See, it's not it. You need the truth. You need the 100% truth. They need to just come on out with it. See? Other than that, hey, they're still going to steer you wrong by believing in false doctrines or what the Motb is not. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 4 and verse 12. It says, for the word of the Lord Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and joints and marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart. See, this word is powerful. This word is powerful. And that's why they're continuously changing what it truly is. See, they're going to keep changing it and changing it and changing it, just showing that they're false prophets. They're not teaching the truth. See, because this word, like I said, the apostles and elders of GMS, they've been teaching you exactly what it is. And other like-minded men and affiliates, they've been teaching exactly what it is. It's the RFID hip. And this word, you can't get, this word is powerful. This word is powerful. And you will not be able to deceive the elect. You'll be able to get the ones that the Lord has not chosen, but not the elect. They're not going to believe in that false doctrine, that madness about an embargo and its sin, and even a digital ID. See, it's not even a digital ID. And as the bishop famously said, it's June, ain't no microchip, right? He famously said that. And he said it over and over and over throughout the years that the Motb, or the mark of the beast, is not the micro C hip. He's been saying it over and over and over. And now, like I said, the tune is changing again. They changing the tune again. Now, let's get this. Let's get the prophecy in the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 7. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And it's telling you right here, the Lord has set these devils up to be able to issue or try to give this thing to everybody on this that's still alive, that is, to get this mark in them, which is the RFID hip. Whether you rich or poor, free or bond, small or great, this devil want to get everybody C-hipped. See? And this mark, I'm going to get that word mark, is talking about that RFID C-hip, or that brain C-hip, that thing that they want to put inside you. It's called transhumanism, where they want to merge devices and things with people. Verse 17, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy or sell lest you take that thing. And that's why we're getting prepared right now through the spirit and power of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because we know what it is, and we know the prophecies, and we know not to take it. And we know in that time that the Lord is going to look out for the elect. And the elect are going to have faith in that time. So one way or another, the Lord is going to take care of us. We're going to be covered. Whether we need a place to be at, some food, some water, whatever we need, the Lord, we're trusting in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai to make a way for us. Everybody else, they're not going to have no hope. They're going to have all these false doctrines rolling around their head. They're going to be confused. And if you, like I said, you confused, you're going to end up taking it. You got to be 100% sure on this thing. Now, from there, I want to get this word mark. Let's get this word mark.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma.
Charagma. It says a stamp and imprinted mark. Definitely something physical. It says a mark stamped on the forehead and the right hand as a badge of the followers of Antichrist. A mark branded upon horses. A thing carved, a sculpture, graven work. So this thing is not spiritual. This device is not spiritual. No, it's not sin. No, it's not an embargo. This mark is talking about the RFID hip, and we're going to get into that. Let's get the root word for charagma, which is charax.
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
Charax. It says a pale or stake, a palisade or rampart. So you're talking about something with a point on it. See? And that's the delivery device, the thing that they're going to use in order to get it inside you. How else they going to get it inside you? They're going to have to pierce you. See? There's a device. This is a very similar device, but they probably going to have some kind of automated thing set up. But you see, this has a point on the end, and that right there is the RFID hip. See? This is that thing that they want to put inside you. And that charax is like a stake, a palisade, has a point on the end. That's the delivery system. See? That's how they want it. That's what they want to use to get it inside you. You can see from this picture. See? And it's people right now. We've done videos on this. People are right now walking around with these RFID hips in their hands. This is a fact. This is a fact. This technology is here and they're already doing it. See, we just waiting on it for it to become mandatory. And that's exactly what's about to happen. So let's get this next word here. The root word for charax. Grapho.
Strong's G 1125. Grapho. Grapho.
Grapho. It says to write with reference to form of letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material. So basically, this is the data or the information that's in the RFID hip. See? So as you can see, everything was broken down through the spirit and power of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, so that we in these last days would know exactly what it is and we wouldn't be deceived. Like I said, the Lord has already chosen who's going to believe and who's not. See, we could teach this over and over and over, but the ones that are of the elect, they're going to know the truth when they hear it. And this thing, like I said, I just broke it all the way down. This is talking about the device itself. This is talking about the delivery system, how they want to get it inside your body. And now it's talking about the information that's inside that RFID hip, which is going to be your information. See, when you tap on their machines, they're going to be able to know who you are, everything about you. So this devil, he just wants total control over all the people. He's going to be able to turn that thing on, off, change the amount of credits or money or whatever they want to call it is on there. Because, hey, you even heard the deacon himself, they're going to crash the dollar. They're already crashing the dollar. They got to do away with this dollar system because they're coming in with this new digital system. See? This all links into the mark of the beast, which is the Motb. See? The RFID hip, they want to put that thing inside you. It's going to have all your information on there. And it's nothing that nobody can do to fool or to deceive the elect. See? Because the Lord has set up the elect not to be deceived. Everybody else, they can believe all of these different things. Sleeping with white women, an embargo, it's sin, it's a picture of Jesus. All of these different false doctrines, the Lord's chosen are not going to go for it. Now let's get this in the book of Revelation because, hey, there's a serious judgment for anyone who takes the Motb, which is the mark of the beast. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, his righteous anger. So the Lord, he going to pour out all his anger on anybody who take that thing. You're going to be getting burnt up. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, which is coming from that thermonuclear destruction during World War III. And the lasers being fired off the chariots whom people ignorantly call UFOs. It's going to be a big fire down here on this earth. And if you're of the elect, you're not going to be down here when that fire is going on. You're going to be beamed up out of here. You're going to be on a chariot, Lord willing, looking down, watching this place burn. And all the ones who took his mark, hey, all the ones who took this thing, they're going to be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. And you don't want that. See? Be hopeful that you are of that number, because if you are not going to take that thing. See? No matter, hey, if you're of the elect, even if you have to be beheaded, you're not going to take it, because some of us will be beheaded because we refuse to take this devil's mark. We're not going to take this thing. See, the Lord has already put it in his elect from the beginning. From the beginning, it's already set. See? That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. You're not going to want to be one of the ones who's confused and who end up taking this thing. Yeah, you might eat for a minute, but in the end, you're going to be destroyed by the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they had no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So, hey, that's why we teach this prophecy over and over and over, because it's going to be clear in that day. You're not going to be able to say, I didn't know, I didn't hear about it, I didn't know. And even the ones who's out here teaching these false doctrines, they've came across the truth. They've came across a GMS or affiliates videos where we teaching exactly what the Motb really is, truly is. You're not going to be able to say you don't know. See? And then most people, even if they don't have no information, they going to know it's wrong. They going to know something's off about it. Hey, but hey, if you've not been prepared, if the Lord ain't been working with you, you're not going to be ready when it actually comes out. It's on at that time. It's a big test. See? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, and verse 6. This is what you're going to need. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6, it says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Talking about the times we're coming into. We're coming into some very, very evil, very, very bad times. A time on this earth time in this earth that there's never been. And this wisdom, this knowledge and understanding, I'm talking about the 100% true, is what's going to keep you stable in them times. Not because you thought it was sleeping with white women, or you thought it was an embargo, or you thought it was sin, or you thought it was a picture of Caesar Borgia, or a picture of Jesus. All of these things is just madness. It's just confusion. You're not going to be stable in that time, and you're going to end up taking it. So that's why you need to understand exactly what it is. It says, in the strength of salvation, it says the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, is his treasure. So, hey, that's another thing. You need to know about salvation, what it truly means. See, a lot of our people, they're always saying, I'm saved and sanctified. But they don't understand what saved really truly means. See, to be saved is to be saved from the destruction that the Lord is about to bring on this place. See, it's going to be so much destruction on this earth, so much fire. You're not going to want to be down here. You're going to want to be one of the ones that was beamed up and delivered up out of here into safety on one of them chariots. Like I said, when people ignorantly call UFOs. People may laugh now, but in that time and in that day, they won't be crying. They won't be laughing in. They're going to be crying. See? So, hey, Lord willing, we're of that number. At least the Lord has got us on the right track with this true wisdom and knowledge and understanding. See? And let's close out here. Let's close out in the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 10. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. See, you kept this word. You continue to believe and trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai. All the ones out here teaching this false doctrines and teaching all these lies, you think that they're going to be kept from the hour of temptation? They will not be kept from the hour of temptation. They're going to be right in the line too. They're going to be getting hipped up just like the rest of them. See, It says which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is a big, big test. How do we know that this right here is talking about this hour of temptation is talking about when the RFID CHIP comes out and becomes mandatory? Let's get into these words here. Let's get this word here. Temptation. Let's get this word temptation. So you got to get into these words, and that's how you know what's going on. And,
Strong's
that's how you
G
need to break down
3986. Pyrosmas. Pyrosmas.
Pyrosmas. See, that's temptation in the Greek. You need to know these words. It says an experiment, an attempt, a trial, approving, a trial, approving. So this is a big test. This is a big test. And let's get into it. Let's get the root word. Let's get the root word here.
Strong's G 3985. Pyradzo.
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 It says to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt an endeavor, to try, to make trial, a test. See, a test for the purpose of ascertaining its quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. Good sense. So, hey, this is a test. This is a test. This is a test. Now let's get this last root word here. As we get deeper, it says
Strong's G 3984. Pyra. Pyra.
Pyra. It says a trial, an experience, an attempt. It says to attempt a thing. So this is a trial, to have a trial of a thing. This is a big test from the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And when you look here in the Strong's definition, it says through the idea of piercing. See? And how did only way to get this thing, this RFID CHIP in you is for you to be pierced. That's the only way to get it into your body. See, they want to put this thing inside you, either in your head or in your forehead. So you're going to have to be pierced. So as we can see, this is definitely talking about the hour of temptation is definitely talking about when the RFID CHIP or the Motb comes out and becomes mandatory. I'm going to read it again. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. See, the Lord is going to keep, if you're of the elect, the Lord is going to keep you. You're going to be kept from all of from getting in that line and taking the CHIP or getting it in your head with the brain CHIP. The Lord going to keep you from that. He going to make a way for you to eat. He going to make a way for you to have something to drink and a place to be. The Lord is going to make a way, and he controls everything. So if you believe, you believe. And we trust in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He's going to make a way in that time. It says, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this thing, when it comes out, it's going to become mandatory all over the whole world. Just like when the C9 came out. See, that was just a warm up. See, that was just a mini test. But the real test is coming when they introduce the RFID CHIP, that device, that thing that they want to put in your hand on your forehead, which is the Motb. When that thing comes out, it's going to be mandatory. It's going to be made mandatory. But the Lord is going to keep the elect from the hour of temptation. He's going to make a way. Verse 11, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take that crown. So, so hold on to this truth. Hold on to believing. Continue to trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Continue to call on the true names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Continue to pray in those names and be hopeful that you're of that number that the Lord is going to keep from the hour of temptation. And with that, I hope that you were edified by this lesson. This has been the IUIC is now saying the Motb is the digital ID. I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.